Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And peace, love, and salutation to all you Akim that's pushing this truth and true with sincerity. So today is July 31st, 2024, the hopeful year of Jacob Trouble. And it's been an action-packed month alone. You think about the so-called Donald Trump assassination. Now we got Kamala, all right, Camizzle, all right, running for president. You've had all types of tension with this Sonia Massey incident. And even you got uproars of the people in Bangladesh, all right? And you got one going on right now in Venezuela, Lord, when I can do a lesson on that. So I'm going to start off in 2 Ezra 91. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And we're measuring the end times by these scriptures, first and foremost, having the right interpretation of the scriptures, all right, not chopping and screwing the scriptures like these other guys do, but knowing what time we in. All this stuff breaking loose, and you got guys that still want to debate. We're on the verge of civil war, all right, possible EMP attacks. Oh, you can't forget about this month, about the shortages in the airports and the hospitals, and you got guys that still want to argue and debate. Continue on, it says, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou well understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. And the world, the God of the Bible is visiting this world because of the wickedness. Look at what's going on with this Olympics. You got your beloved Snoop Dogg, all right, rocking a Baphomet chain. All right, and he was I think he lit the torch, or he had something to do with the ceremonies in France. And then you had that reenactment of the Last Supper with all these types of freaks and geeks. So the Lord is visiting this place because, all right, it tells you in 2 Ezra, the 15th chapter. Let's get that right quick. 2 Ezra 15 and 3. Excuse me, 2 Ezra 15 and verse 6. Let's start at verse 5. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. And this isn't coming. The God of the Bible, as these Christians like to say, he's not lovey-dovey all the time. It says in Isaiah 45 and 7, he creates the light and the darkness, the good and the evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. So why is the Lord bringing sword, famine, death, and destruction? For wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and the hurtful works are fulfilled. Let's get this one right quick. I think it's Psalms. I believe it's chapter 82 and verse 6, I believe. Psalms 82 and verses 5. They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course. And I was just looking at a lesson a couple of days ago that I got queued up. Lord, when I do a lesson on that, about how sharks in the Atlantic are testing positive for cocaine. So the earth is totally out of course. And the Lord, he's making the end of Esau, Edom, all right, the self-proclaimed white man, which is not white, he's red, and making a transition between Esau and Jacob. So, but before that, we're going to see things like this. Now, the scriptures prophesy the earthquakes. Well, matter of fact, I'm going to go back to 2 Ezra. Excuse me. Getting a little too ahead of myself. 2 Ezra, chapter 9, going back to verses 3. 2 Ezra 9 and 3. Therefore, when I shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, you got uproars of the people over what's going on in Venezuela. Maduro has a third term going. All right. And people are taken to the streets because they believe the election was rigged. Well, all these elections are rigged. These people are selected to be in office. But you see that going on. You see the uproars of the people in Bangladesh where the government basically said we're going to shoot on sight if you're up in the streets at a certain part of time. And that's the times that we in. We're not in these lovey-dovey times. We're not in the times of making America great again or building back better. It's about to get built. It's about to get broke down for the worse. Verse 4, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of these things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. Let's get another precept before I get into this article. I think it's Isaiah 42:9, if I'm not mistaken. Isaiah 42:9, behold, the former things are come to pass, and new things do I declare before they spring forth. I tell you of them. The Lord has been telling us in these scriptures that these pastors can interpret. All right, we'll get back to Revelation. We'll get back to Revelation. It's not as it's been open yet. It hasn't been opened up to you. All right, you false believers and believers of these other guys and you other Hebrew Israelite camps. All right, but the Lord is springing forth the things that's coming to pass, namely the mark of the beast in Revelation 13 and 16, World War III, and the second coming of who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, but his real name is Yahweh Shai. So I'm going to get to this article, and this is actually going on in Babylon the Great right now, or did happen. And this is from USA Today. As soon as it pulls up. It says 103 earthquakes in 1 week. What's going on in West Texas? Now, back in May, there was a series of earthquakes between California and Nevada. Now it's in Texas. So there's fault lines all over America. It's not just in Southern California, all right? There's fault lines everywhere in the United States. Officials in Scurry County in West Texas declared a state of emergency after more than 100 earthquakes rocked the area. So I guess it's near Abilene, Odessa, Midland. So it says, so many earthquakes have struck the West Texas county of Scurry in the past week. More than 100 at last count. Local officials have declared a state of emergency. Scurry County Judge Dan Hicks wrote in his Friday declaration of disaster that since the last earthquake registering magnitude 4.9 was felt the last night of July 22nd, damage has been found throughout Scurry County in businesses and residences. So 100 earthquakes. The county's buildings can handle a few quakes here and there, but the cumulative effects of so many small ones punctured a larger shaking have become cause for concern. Because those little 4.9s and 5s, they do a lot of damage, especially, in that the times that we living in with America's infrastructure, man, everything is just, it's just bad quality right now. The roads are bad. The buildings are bad. One good earthquake hits these different areas and these buildings are finished, man. All right. It says from the second floor office in Scurry County Courthouse, Hicks told the Abilene Register News, part of the USA Today network, workers in the building became alarmed during a 5.0 quake Friday, which hit at 9:28 a.m. local time. Trophies rattled inside, display cabinets and pictures bounced against the walls. The building was shaking pretty good, Hicks said. And look at that sign. All right. So you got 100 earthquakes hitting West Texas. That's letting you know what times that we in. And as I go into in these lessons about earthquakes, it's not just the San Andreas fault line. It's not just the West Coast California thing. You have the New Madrid fault line, which is a fault line between the southeastern United States and the Midwest, which can wreak havoc across St. Louis, parts of Nashville, Memphis. All right, those Mid-South states, so to speak, Missouri. Then you got the Ramapo fault line. This year started off with a bang in New York. There was actually an earthquake in New York. I think it was a 1.7, but it did a lot of damage. Then there was another one in New York, all right, later on that month. And then, as I mentioned earlier, there was a series of earthquakes. It was about 1,000 that wreaked havoc in California and Nevada. Then you also got to remind yourself about the Cascadia fault, Cascadia subduction zone in the Pacific Northwest that can wreak havoc upon Vancouver, British Columbia, parts of British Columbia, all right, Seattle, Washington, Portland, Oregon, parts of Northern California. So these you're gonna start to see more so-called natural disasters. We're already in hurricane season. Even the weather here in Georgia has been, a cause for concern because normally I would say 3 weeks ago it was just blazing hot, record temperatures like any other place. Now, the state of Georgia has been hit with flash floods, all types of rain. It'll rain hard for 20, 30 minutes and it'll stop. And then 2 hours later, it'll rain again. Esau Edom, all right, has a control of, he's manipulating the weather. And he's also putting out these chemtrails every day, all right. Well, we all know the Heavenly Father's control, but the scriptures say the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. We don't know what Esau got up his sleeve as far as so-called manipulated natural disasters that he'll conjure up. All right, but we're in them times where these signs are going to take effect, and it's the signs that let us know that the Lord is coming back. So let's go to Matthew 24, starting at verse 3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming and the end of the world? And the word world means eon, which means end of an age, G165. Because there's three different definitions of world in the New Testament. You got eon, which means an end of an age. You got oikomene, like, for instance, Matthew 24 and 14, this gospel shall be preached throughout the whole earth. And then the world, matter of fact, I think it's in 14. Matthew 24 and 14. In this gospel, the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. That word is different from the one in verse 3. That word is oikomene, which means a whole inhabited earth. This gospel has to go throughout the four corners of the earth, all right, to wake up the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And then you got cosmos, which is in John 3:16, which people chop and screw and butcher so much. That word goes into cosmos, which means harmonious arrangement. And you could use Isaiah 45 and 17 as a precept for John 3:16. All right. And then you can go to John 17, where it talks about how the Messiah didn't pray for the whole world. So how are you going to match up John 3:16 and then in John 17 and 9, the only begotten Son, I believe it's 17 and 9, says he doesn't pray for the whole world. All right. So this end is the end of an age, the end of an age of Esau Edom. All right. And you're going to see a lot of events happen, and they've been happening. And Yahweh shall answer and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am the anointed, and shall deceive many. Even in Israel, you got this Yahweh ben Yahweh guy. He was a false prophet. You got this guy, they called himself the God sent comforter. He's 6 feet deep. All right, he's in the spirit world right now. I think his name was Jermaine Grant, Comfy of the ICGJC, if I'm not mistaken. All right, you got a lot of false anointings. They even say they're Israelites. And you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. I did a lesson yesterday about how close Turkey is on the brink of war with Israel, and how Lebanon, which is north of Israel, is on the brink of war with Israel. So that's a war and rumors of wars. We still got the war in Ukraine. You still got the South China Sea conflict. Or you got this genocide still going on the Gaza Strip. So it's a war on all sides. A war on all sides, excuse me. These little wars are leading up to World War III. And you shall hear wars and rumors of wars. See that you be not troubled for all these things. must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise. And I'm gonna speak on that because you can get caught up, especially when you first come into the camp or first find out you're an Israelite, that Yahweh Shah is coming back in 6 months. Even in Matthew 24, let's go down a little bit. Matthew 24 and verses 36, 35. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my words shall not pass away. But of that day and hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. So we don't know when Yahweh Shah is coming back. Even Yahweh Shah doesn't know when he's coming back. And I'm going to just say that because the end is not yet. We still got to wait. You know, it could be the thing. We could be here. This thing could wrap up in a few months, or we could still be here another couple of years. We just got to endure. Like it says in Matthew 24 and 13, this is a good chapter for this lesson. Matthew 24 and 13, but he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. So it's about endurance. You know, Lord willing, we're part of that number to be delivered from this destruction that's going to come. So we have to continue to wait. We have to occupy, as Yahweh Shah said, occupy until I come. We have to continue to be busy in his work and take care of our day to day and, you know, get by, so to speak, in this captivity until the Lord raises us up. But we're going to start to see these signs come in effect more and more. It's going to get worse. It's going to be more and more earthquakes that are going to be worse, natural disasters. All right, more sedition that's going to get worse and worse. This is what the Heavenly Father wants. And he's using Esau as the sword in Psalm 17 and 13 to put out all this chaos in the earth, because the scriptures say the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. So continuing on, it says, for nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines. And the famines are coming. The fact that they had this light shortage earlier this month, that's going to stop a lot of people from going to the grocery store. That's going to stop when your food get refrigerated, because it's only so long before that food in the refrigerator goes raw, man. All right. And people are going to start taking to the streets over lack of bread, like it mentions in 2 Ezra, the 15th chapter. They're too busy trying to vote for somebody that's already selected to be the president, but they're not paying attention to the signs. They're not paying attention to this legislation that these their beloved politicians are signing behind closed doors, where people are celebrating July 4th or celebrating these holidays and they're not even paying attention. It says in pestilences, they're already talking about the Larry Bird, the bird flu. They already got another vaccine for that. And earthquakes in diverse places. Those 100 earthquakes in West Texas. And there's going to be more earthquakes in America. All these are the beginning of sorrow. So I'm going to end off on that. Just more and more signs pointing to the Lord coming back, but we have to patiently wait for them. And in the meantime, we have to report these things to our people so they can get in the mind frame of the severity that's coming here to the shores of America. All right, America is about to be a third world country. Everything that you see going on in Venezuela and these little countries that people belittle, it's about to come here. All right. And we have to get the blood off our hands to tell you people what the hell is going on, whether you hear or forbear. So with that, I'm going to say shalom.